Something I always think about is how sometimes when I answer a person's question that they ask, they don't always get the answer they want because they didn't ask a question that they actually wanted the answer to. I've had people get angry at me for answering their questions and then realize I did answer their question correctly. It was just not what they wanted. You don't have to want something or the same thing as another person. But don't get mad at a person for answering the question that you asked in the first place. If I sound like I'm hurt or upset, it's because a person recently did this to me and said they didn't want to be friends, then asked later on if they could continue to be my friend. The answer is no. No, I do not want to be your friend. Did I still help them after they asked for advice? Yes. But I don't want to be their friend. Because I'm still upset with them. I do talk shit about people on my channel, but the one thing I will always keep is that I won't let people know the name of them as a form of privacy. And sometimes the shit talking is just over exaggerated, yes, but that's because I'm an entertainer. It's much easier to listen to a fun story with bits of truth. Mainly because it amps up the drama. It's actually why I write Chaos Castle. Because I like the drama in the story. I like having anticipation and romance and love. But it's mainly because of the lack of love I see in contemporary society. The only time I've ever seen people actually be happily in love is in person. I know 3 happy couples that actually love each other, that actually want everything to do with each other, and have similar goals for their lives. Not everyone is gonna fall in love with a person who has similar goals with them. That just means they're not the right person for you, which happens. But you'd think people would notice farther on or earlier on. if they weren't with the right person. Does nobody discuss their goals and their future with people? Because that's the reason why me and my ex are exes. It's because we didn't have the same goals. I harbor no hate towards them. It happens. It's okay. I don't know if any of the people who used to flirt with me as a kid are still able to talk or comment on my videos. And I know the possibility is that they will eventually be able to or find it, but they probably won't because I'm not a kid anymore. And they liked flirting with kids. And I hope that they got caught or got killed. I'm not gonna lie. I hope they believed in a hell so that they could live in it. Relive over and over the worst parts of their personality. Because there are people who have urges that don't act on them. The people who act on them are the ones who are doing the wrong thing knowingly. The people who don't know that they're in the wrong. They know they're not supposed to think those things. And they actively try to seek help and fix the issue. The people who don't seek help to fix the issue are the ones with the problem. I think it's weird when people are attracted to those that are not in their age group directly. Hole in one of the cat's ears, but I don't want to ruin it. I think my piece is getting too warm. It's starting to melt the plastic. I think the funnier part is I was right. The way I answered the question did make the question, it did answer the question. But the fact that they still listened to my advice, even after saying I was being an asshole, speaks volumes. The holes keep getting bigger, and I don't know why. I'm trying to keep them in a straight line. It's getting annoying now. I have to glue all of these. I know sometimes this will be a very dark topic. I did think about how much better everyone's lives would be if I wasn't in it. Don't get me wrong, I know that these are dark thoughts and that I shouldn't be thinking them. But I also know that the reason I thought that is because they don't need the truth, nor do they want it. Yet they still ask for it. So sometimes I just think I shouldn't tell people the truth. I feel like if I knew how to lie, that people would be happier. I mean, I know I've changed people's lives by telling them the truth. And I know a lot of people say, well, you did do good for me. But I feel like I always get scorned for it. So it doesn't feel like I did him any good. The amount of tarot readings I have done has been a lot. But my manager and a few of their kitchen staff have asked if I could bring my tarot cards in. I have been told I'm very perceptive. I can see things happen before they do. But I don't think it's a good thing anymore when I was first talking to this one person, they were asking about how to be happy in a certain way. And I'm like, I can't just tell you what makes you happy. You have to find that answer yourself. The questions you ask me, don't yield the answer of what will make you happy. Like, you can love someone and want their happiness, but it doesn't always mean that once they're finally happy or content, that it will make you happy. Which is depressing for some, but I've always seen life as if you don't have the same goals, then you need to go your separate way in order to find a love that truly is for you. It's probably why I stay single so often and don't try out relationships very often. It's because not a lot of people have the same thoughts or goals as me. I mean, most people have completely different ideas of how they want to live their life, and that's entirely normal. I mean, as a person with divorced parents, I've seen that in the most major way of as happy as they are separately and okay with that separately, together they were miserable. They made themselves miserable because they were giving up what they wanted for a face. Which in essence isn't okay. It's one of the main reasons why I was okay with loving people, but as long as I was not with them. I like watching people from afar more than being near them. I mean, one thing I was always taught about psychology is you have to let people find their own answers. Because they'll find the truth. They just have to find it on their own. Otherwise, you'll get the anger that they resent. I always knew the couple might get divorced. I mean, even one of my other friends thought they were going to get divorced. This is a couple I've seen in person. People I've personally met. So it's wild to see myself being right. Because usually you don't want to be. You hope that you're not. You hope that they're finding a way to make it work. Especially if they have kids. But sometimes it's just not meant to be. So the best thing they can do is make sure the kids are happy. And I say this as a person who does not like kids. I found out what was wrong. The setting got put back to 3 again. Which is unfortunate because I had to go through about 6 cats before noticing. It's kind of sad. Something I used to do is I'd place my UV lamp on 2 cups because I wanted it to be over at the table an equalistic distance apart. So now I can put my UV cats underneath the cups and they'll get bright light. Now that happens, I can work on the other earrings. One by one, as I slowly carry each of the cats. Sometimes love seems like a horror game. So honestly, I might take another one of my coworkers' advice and I'm gonna say single just because it's so much more fun to be alone. I get to control all the aspects of my life. I get to not have to worry about anyone else. Don't have to worry about multiple people's bills, only my own. I don't have to worry about if anyone else has eaten or slept enough or slept comfortably. Which is not realistic at all. Because even with saying that, I wish I could not care. I really can't stop caring. Because I know there are homeless people who don't choose to be homeless that are sleeping in basically the dirt, where infrastructure is slowly getting more and more vicious against people who just want to be left alone and try their best to make life what they want it. Overconsumption is wild to see, because there are people living in giant houses where all the rooms are basically empty, and they don't use more than 2 rooms. If you only use 2 rooms, you only need 2 rooms. So my most comfortable home aesthetic would be a separate office from my bedroom. That's the only setup I need. I need 2 rooms and a kitchen. Just 2 separate rooms from the kitchen and bathroom. So if I could have just a nice little setup that fit that aesthetic, I'd be the happiest person ever. And I'd be so content, so comfortable. And I'd be me. But happy. There's a bug under there. Wild. I hope those are under there properly. I wish the best for my kitty cat. This cat has a broken tail. Well, I gotta glue that back on. My brother recently asked me if I could make video game backgrounds. He wants me to basically design a video game that's like slightly pixelated, which is weird, very weird, but not out of character for my brother. I made some little calicos in the last one. I'm actually really excited about the calicos. They're so much cuter than I thought they would be. The one thing I always loved about cons is that I get to meet a bunch of new people, but it's never the same people over and over again. It's always different people. Which I guess sets me apart from other people who are in a similar type of mindset of me, where it comes down to, I like having things planned out, and it gives me anxiety when things don't get planned out properly. But I also like doing new things, which is when my autism combats my other personality traits, which I'm pretty sure could be ADHD, because I get it from my mother when it comes down to that. Liking to try new things. Because I can do the same thing every day and be very content and comfortable and happy. But occasionally, a little spontaneity. One, it helps calm down my anxiety when things still work out, even when something is not planned. Like today, I went shopping. It wasn't really planned for, but I needed food in my house. Made myself beef lo mein. Tasted great. I made one set of earrings. The rest were still curing, in a way. Reminds me, I should move the cats out of my way from the other video. I need to take a photo of them still. I'm gonna line them up somewhere else. Because I still have photos to take. I forgot. No. Okay, I should probably shut them off. Where's the glue? I glued the pail back on instead. Because maybe I put the UV light too high up because it doesn't see what they're carrying. See if that helps. The cat's waiting for their buddies, just staring at the light. Like grab my under dryers. Some of these specs are just paper, but some of them still are diamond art pieces, and it's confusing. Where are they coming from? I need to get more like regular resin, like 2-part resin. I can show you how I made my ears for my siren cosplay with it. I feel like this video is gonna be over before I even make before I even make 6, I'm not gonna lie. And it's all because today I had to repair something. I did get laundry done, so that's a happy day. The calicos. I was hoping I could increase my yield of cats for an hour. But after a drilling mishap, it did not work out the way I intended. Imagine living in a world where everything's filled with in-app game purchases. And you have zero funds. And the only way to get the funds is in hopes that your outside companions give you stuff. That basically just sounds like prison life, but no way to make money for yourself. There's a movie about that, by the way. Something my brother spoke about once with me that I did not ask for is how he slept with his girlfriend, and I did not want those details. Like, don't talk about your sex life. I know our mother does, but I complain about her doing it too. But I'm also the type of person who will openly talk about their sex life, so. This is just how my family is. And I'm part of it. But when I was younger, I was a lot more like, keep that to yourself. To everyone, including my family. And then people just kept sharing, so it just became a norm. How in some people's cases, not talking about things like that and keeping it to yourself is considered a norm. and then it just becomes the norm. Which is why it's so important to choose who you're around. Even if that means staying alone. Because honestly, the quiet is so peaceful. Do I still worry about how people are doing? Yes, but do I drown that out with music and my own issues? I kind of have to. Because worrying about other people is too much work. Especially when you're unwell yourself. Though I have work early in the morning, and I'm not looking forward to that. No. Decided to glue up on. Sometimes I feel like people can just remove the color in your life. They make everything more dull. The point is to find people that make life more colorful. You don't necessarily need to be around those people to be happy, but just having them in your life in the first place can make it better. My life became more dull when a few different people entered my life. It felt like color was no longer there. Browns and oranges became the same in vibrancy. All the shades of pink faded together, and blues lost their shimmer. And the waves stopped making noise. And when they finally left, I could finally breathe. Let the water wash over my face. No longer showering just because I was anxious, but instead just to feel clean. My hair grew more fast. And brighter than before. Darkness, instead of consuming me and looming over me, all of a sudden became a moment of peace, to where I didn't have to hide from it every night. Breathing became so much easier that even corsets felt less tight. But instead, like a comforting embrace that I don't mind. Life can be peaceful. Not everyone needs people to feel happy. Some people need quiet and calm. As sometimes the chaos can shout them out and dull their light. The people that I work with, I very much am glad that I work with them. Even if they gossip or talk shit about each other, in the end, we still all work together and work towards their same goals. And we still care about each other and miss each other. So maybe it's a cultural difference, or maybe it's just actually knowing what a person means. That is all the difference. Because people who don't actually misunderstand every word I say, or every answer I give, laugh with me. And they don't mind being around me. And they look forward to what I have to say. Because it's either funny, or they see the truth and the humility. And they just feel the pure joy that comes along with me. It's a wild ride. But in essence, it is fun. I made 10 pairs of earrings in an hour. There's only 8 pairs left, though. These ones are angry. Anyway, peace, love. Have a good day, my fab fans, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.